Okay, so when it's up against there, it's going to be 12 3/4 to the front. You know, probably close to that. So I can see, I can leave that there. Then I can bring the sink in and set it down. And the funny thing is, it's not really centered. Well, see here, this is centered here, but the sink, you can tell, the sink is going to be moved over. It's going to be about centered over here. You know, probably something more like that. And so the trap is going to be coming over kind of at an angle down in here. It would have been nice had this drain line been exactly where the center of that sink was. They could have done that when they were doing all the framing and stuff, but they probably put that in and they had no idea, okay, we're going to put a sink pedestal in here. They probably figured, okay, they're going to put a cabinet in here just like everything else. Then they decided, hey, let's put a sink pedestal in here, move it over, but they can still, you know, I didn't see how this was taken out. The plumbers took it out for me, and I thought, hey, I'll be the one to install it so I don't have to pay them. And this is going to be about like that. I can see where the edge, the center is going to be about right here. See? And so the trap's going to have to come over, and that's okay. That's okay. That'll work. And that's probably why they decided to use the chrome trap assembly. And where is that trap assembly? I think it's out here. See, I'm not 100% set up yet. Here's the trap assembly here. And see, they used the metal, the steel one, steel plated, well, chrome plated over, it's probably 22 gauge. They've got 17 gauge, 22 gauge, 24 gauge. This is probably mid of the road, is what I'm guessing. And I figured I'd just reuse this. It's not that old. It looks still in pretty good shape. And I think I'm going to reuse that. But see, when it's installed, it's nice when you do a pedestal that all this stuff fits directly back underneath here. See, and in fact, it should fit. I don't think there's any other parts. I don't think there was any other parts for this. And see, this is just angled because I loosened it up. And see, this is going to be straight in, and then this is going to be kind of over. And it's going to be, man, it's going to be close, but it'll work. It'll work. But then you're going to see this whole side on the left-hand side. I don't know why those guys didn't plumb it to where the drain was exactly in the middle of that. And I looked at the back side of this, and it wasn't set cattywampus, you know, to the left or to the right a little bit more so than the other. I looked at the caulking lines where it was, and the caulking lines were directly on some grooves over here. You see this here? These lines, that's where you're going to set the pedestal on that. And it was just beyond this a little bit where the front edge was, and then the caulking was on this edge and this edge. So that tells me that it was directly centered on this, on the sink, not the drain, okay? So it's good that I know that before I start my project, right? I mean, am I a plumber? Do you have to be a plumber to do this? No, you don't have to be a plumber. I'm not a plumber, I'm just an average Joe. Okay? And if I can do it, you can do it, okay? So I'm just gonna kind of set this off to the side, and I think you can see that. And see, here's my long lag bolt with a big fat washer. And I know that's going in on this side, and there's wood there. And see, I could just take my little baby crescent wrench, reach up underneath there and keep turning that. But this is going to be real close to the porcelain. And so I've got just a little, one of these adapters that came with a drill bit set that I had. And I can put that on there. Then I can reach up in there and do this business if I want. See, I'm just gonna be able to do a little bit at a time. And I'm just checking it all out, and sure enough, everything's working fine on that. Okay, well, I know that one. Once I get it in this hole, it only fits in one spot, right in where the existing hole was. Okay, and here's my long threaded bolt that was in there from before, and see, it should have a wing nut on it like that. But when you get ready to pull something out of a wall, you have to keep unscrewing it. And see, this gets pushed in like that, far enough, ka-doink, and then you tighten it up. Well, when you go to unscrew it, you're going to unscrew it, and this is going to pop down inside the wall. So you got to get another one of these. And some hardware stores years ago used to sell these separately. 3 or 4 different sizes. Well, today apparently they don't do that, so I had to find a little pack like this, and I had to open it up at the store to make sure. I took this screw with me, and it looked about the same, but I'd still opened up the box at the store, thinking, okay, make sure that it's going to fit. I don't want to get back here and find out it doesn't fit. Sure enough, it fits. Okay, and this is like $2.50. Well, now I've got one toggle bolt with the wing nut and one screw left, with no wing nut. But hey, that's the way it goes. All right, and that's going to be for that other side. And I thought, okay, how am I going to tighten that? Well, I don't think there's enough room. Once it gets in there, I'll be able to kind of pull on this and screw it at the same time with my fingers. When it gets in there far enough, I might be able to use a small little one, stubby. This one's actually a little bigger because it's got this end and it's got enough screw area. Oh, this is even a ratchet. I didn't know that. No, I guess it's not. That's kind of silly. Okay, see, here's some more ends, and this screw head is kind of fat, so I could have just pulled the end out and used that, and then see, I can use my crescent wrench, but I pulled out one that's got a little bit fatter head to fit in there nicely. So once I put it in there and screw it, pulling on it and then screwing, because you have to keep pressure on it as you're tightening it up, or as you're turning it, this thing can just keep turning inside the wall, and you're thinking, how come it's not tightening up? You have to kind of pull on it so that this goes on the back side of the wall, and then you can kind of screw this in. Once it gets close enough, then I can put this end on there, and I can take my crescent wrench and tighten up the screw that way up underneath there. I gotta be a little munchkin to be able to fit everything up in there. Okay, so am I ready to install this? Well, there's one more thing I want to do. I'm going to show you that right now. You know what, too? I may have to slide this out this way to see how well the sink's going to fit on there, because I have to have it away from the wall in order to get this thing through here. So I may have to hold this out 2 or 3 inches for that, or put this up, slide it out, and then push it in. I'm not sure how well it sets on here. So I don't know. I'll pull it out a little bit, do a happy medium, and then once I get it started, then I can kind of maybe slide this whole thing up together. All right.